So yeah, that's me. Obviously, that's me on Twitter if you wanna get at me. And so my job usually is working with lots of startups, lots of different companies, different shapes, sizes, whatever. And all that it really means is that I build a lot of apps, a lot of apps, a lot of sites, whatever. And I need to be able to do that really, really fast, right? And so I decided that my talk today, I was going to build an app and try and take you through that. And in the end, I ended up talking about Compass a lot. And it wasn't really intentional. It was just kind of something that I'd been doing, and I was building sites faster with, and I keep honing my skills. And anyone ever used Compass? A couple of people? Anyone is like, I don't want to use Compass, it sucks, and they don't know why? Because I was one of those guys, and I've been using SAS for a long time, but Compass, I wasn't using it, and I built all my own stuff, and I was kind of wasting my own time. And you can go and build all these things with all the browser prefixes if you want, or you can just implement the feature, right? So I'm going to take you through it real quick. So you can, this is something that I use pretty much every site that I work on. I use a reset, which is a regular reset. CSS3, I just take all the stuff that they give me. You can take little bits if you want, or you can take all of it. I take this interesting vertical rhythm stuff and some clear fixes. So say we've got some text like this and whatever, it's in a HAML file, and it kind of looks like this in a browser, and it kind of looks like that on an iPhone. We can then drop in this, which is establish a baseline and use a baseline height of 24 pixels and set the base font or reset all the fonts to 16 pixels in size as well. Now, in the browser, that's going to look like this now. And hey, there's another feature as well where we can actually put some spaces in between those P's. So we can use this thing called a leader, and it puts in a proportional space above every P. And that'll look like that now, and like that on the iPhone. We can do a trailer where it'll actually go after. So you don't have a gap at the top of your first P or whatever. And you can actually also use some other stuff to do some grid stuff, right? So here, for example, I've got a grid set up of 16 columns and column widths and all that sort of stuff. And that's actually the default, but I just put it in there to show you. And if I put this on my body, the body element, I actually get this this grid background where I can see where everything's going, and I can go and lay out my page based on that. If I size it down, it scales proportionately, and you can build a nice responsive site. Again, on an iPhone, it looks pretty good too. You can do vertical, so you can maintain a vertical grid using it as well, which is quite good. So if we go and set the viewport on the layout using this HTML method, this is in HAML. But we're actually setting it to an initial scale of 1.0, which just means that it's going to get the whole layout and suck it up to the edges of the iPhone or mobile device. So it'll take something that looks like that, and it'll actually zoom it, and it'll look like this, right? I'm going to go a little bit faster. So we've got this header element here, and I'm using this thing called a role. And a role is basically it's an ARIA role, and they're defined for accessibility or for being able to have screen readers actually know what your content is about. But I've been using them for just laying out my page. So a banner is something that you use on every single page, like a header kind of area. A content info is just info about the content that you're presenting. And I use this section of main, which would maybe you would have like a thing called wrapper in your page before. I don't know. So you can style them out like this. You can use a mix-in in Compass, or a SAS mix-in. I like to have one of like sans serif, something like that. Thank you. And I drop it in like this. I like to also use other features from Compass, like a linear gradient, where I say, here are my color stops. I'm going to go from 70% black. So I'm using this method here called lighten. So I take black, and I make it 70% lighter. Yeah, so you get kind of gray. And we create some text shadows and all that sort of stuff, and I can make my page look like this now. And I haven't really done anything extra. Adding some extra styling. I was building an app for this talk, and I didn't really think about how long it would take. But here's, this kind of looks broken. So Compass just gives you a clear fix. I drop it in, and I got a clear fix, right? So I can just keep coding, and I can keep building apps just like this. That's what I know about Compass. Thanks.